Hey there friends, and thanks for joining me. And for those of you who follow my channel, it's probably not going to be a shock to you, but sometimes I can be a little extreme. And when it comes to having certain goals and things in mind, and it comes to trying to save money and things like that, I can be over the top extreme. So I would like to share with you how I used the tips in my last video, how to save money, 5 steps basically, and how I actually used those to help save money and what it actually did for our family. So I would like to get started with you. So the first step was to have a dream and a goal. For us, and for me, my dream to have to buy a house actually started when I was a kid. I can remember living in the little fourplex, rental apartment that my parents had, and thinking, I really wish I could have more space. I tried to grow a garden there, and people would just, they would mow it, and, the neighbors and things like that. It just really wasn't very fun living in a rental place like that. And our house was really small. I had to share a bedroom with both of my brothers and things like that. And so I really, really, really wanted my parents to buy a house. And as we continued on and I was growing up and they never really did buy a house, it actually transferred into me buying a house. I want to buy a house so that I can have my own space and that I can have a place where we're going to live and where we can raise our kids, that we have our own space, our own yard and things like that. So I really, really, really wanted to, both from an investment side of things and also from, a quality of life kind of way, wanted to really buy a house. And so that was a huge dream. And so that's where my goal came from, is that I needed money to be able to put as a down payment and, for the closing costs and maybe even repairs in case the house the best house we could afford was a fixer-upper, which it was. So yeah, that's why I wanted to start saving money. So step number 2, of course, was to cut expenses, and so this is where the most crazy things that we did, at least from society's standpoint, came in. So the first thing that we did, my husband and I, we both basically skipped college. Now those of you that have followed my channel are going to be like, wait, I thought you went to plant and greenhouse science class, horticulture at college. I did. It's kind of a long story, but I actually went to that while I was in high school. There were these programs where, children or the kids that got good grades and that wrote a really good essay and stuff like that were able to go to this hybrid program where we actually were bused in from our high school to the college and actually took college classes there and got credit for both high school and credit, for high school and college credit, excuse me. And then we got to go to high school the rest of the day. So that's actually where I learned had my college experience. And having gone there really helped me to realize that I wanted to skip college after high school. A lot of people will go from high school straight into college, and having that experience helped me realize that I didn't want to go that route. And so it probably saved us a whole lot of money not taking out student loans and other things like that. We just wanted to go straight into the workforce. So from society's perspective, that was kind of crazy because that's not what people do. You're supposed to just go to college, right? So, but we skipped it and it helped save us money, a lot of money. Number 2 thing we did was to keep our living expenses low. And for me, what that looked like is that I lived in a camping trailer for 2 years in my friend's backyard. The camping trailer was way cheaper than any apartment I could have rented, and so helping to keep those living expenses low really helped boost how much I was able to save. And I know that a huge part of how I was able to save money was all because of that. So thank you, my friend from high school, I'm not going to mention her on video, and her parents for letting me live in your backyard. That was so much fun. It was like camping year-round for 2 full years. Toughened me up for sure, and helped me appreciate the house, because when I moved into my house, which is kind of a smaller house, it felt like a castle. Okay, number 3, I cut unnecessary expenses, like eating out. We never ate out at restaurants, ever. We had no cable because we had no TV. I had all secondhand clothes. All my clothes came from secondhand stores. A lot of people would think these things are crazy to do, but that's what we did. And also I had no cell phone. Now, the world was a little different back then. It didn't seem as weird to not have a cell phone. Only some people had them. Nowadays, everyone has one, so it might be a little bit more difficult in today's society to actually do that. But at the time, I was able to get away with it, and it worked out great. Saved me tons of money. So no cell phone. Crazy, I know. And then also we drove older cars. At one point, the cheapest car that I had purchased was $350, and it wasn't always the most reliable. So yes, an old beater is exactly what we did, and it worked out fine. For the most part, it got me where I needed to go with only a little bit here and there that, you know, needed done. And so driving older cars, while a lot of people would say, wait, you know, you need something reliable and whatnot. Well, you know what? I really do believe that you can get reliable old cars. Maybe not in the price range of that $350, you know, you might have to spend a few $100s more than that, but you really can find reliable cars that are older and that can get you where you need to go without costing all that money. So, you know, save money and drive an older one. So, number 3 step to saving money is to budget. And for me, I just budgeted in cash. I had a certain amount of cash, and when I went to a grocery store or whatnot, it was like, this is how much I have to spend, and, you know, that was all there was to it. So it worked. Put the budget into cash and never overspent. So the next thing, tip to saving the money was to increase earnings. I had one job for about a year, and then I was able to pick up a second part-time job. And so for that whole second year of living in that trailer, I was working about 63 hours a week, working 2 part-time jobs. And this helped a lot. The savings from the first year from just one part-time job was very small, and then from going to a second part-time job and working all those hours, that's where a lot of this money that we were able to spend came from. So while that might seem a little bit extreme to work that many hours in a week, it really helped a lot to save a lot of the money that we had. And you got to remember, when you're saving money, it's only temporary. You're not going to be trying to save money forever. It's just saving enough to get this out of the way, or saving enough to buy that, etc., or, you know, having enough set aside for whatever. So it was only for a short time. I only worked these 2 jobs, like I said, until I was able to buy the house, you know, and I worked the 2 for a little bit longer after that, but still, only about a year and a half did I work, you know, 2 jobs and for that many hours a week, and it worked out okay because it got us where we wanted to be. So, and I was really dedicated to it too, because one of the jobs I worked was at a gas station, and at one point we even got robbed, and I kept coming to work. Who would do that? If after you're robbed, you'd be like too scared to go back to work. But I was so bent on getting the house and having enough saved for a down payment, I didn't want to go back to only having one part-time job again. So, you know, I was just really cautious and, you know, a little bit nervous and whatnot, but we still did it. I still did it anyway. Anyway, so yeah, 2 jobs and was really dedicated to them. And then, of course, the last one is to either make your savings inaccessible or to watch it grow. For us, and for me, that was to have a savings account and to watch it grow, which hugely motivated me. That really helped me to get up, you know, work that 12-hour day, go to bed and get up and work that 12-hour day the next day. So watching it grow definitely helped me a lot. So I'm sure you would like to know, after all of this work and all of these, you know, steps, how much were we able to save? Well, for me, and I did not get any money from pretty much anyone else. This was all me. I did not get money from my parents. You know, my husband's parents didn't kick in. You know, even the money didn't come from him. He had one part-time job, but he wasn't able to save. So it was all this one-woman band. I was able to save $10,000 so that we could have a down payment and some money to help fix up our house. And like I said, it took me about a year to save that much. So these tips work. If you want to put them into practice and you want to do these things, it really will help you to save the money that you are looking for. So, on another off note, someone actually asked me if I would do some vlogs. And at first I thought, you know, I'm not really sure how that would be helpful, because ever since I first started this channel, my goal has always been to help people. It's always been that, and it will always be that. So I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to help people, but as I've been thinking about it more and more, I'm thinking, you know, there are these tips that I put out, you know, in these videos where I give all these different ways to save money on groceries, you know, but would it be helpful to actually see that in a real life setting? Do you know what I mean? Like, instead of just here's the tips, it'd be like, well, here, would you like to see some of the things that we actually do in our life, and do like a vlog style, maybe put it out once a week, etc., and see us actually doing these things? Would it be helpful to come along with me to our, you know, discount grocery store, and, you know, how I navigate that place, and then make sure that we're putting together meals based on that? Would it be helpful to see how we actually, you know, reduce our budget, you know, with our expenses and different things like that? Would it be helpful to come see our family, you know, do what we do? You know, I'm not sure if that's something that would be helpful to you guys, and so that's why I want to ask you. I'm not normally a person who promotes my channel. I'm sure you've noticed that at the end of my videos, a lot of people will say, you know, like, comment, or subscribe, and things like that. Other people will do that on their channels, and I've never actually done that. So, you know, not from that perspective, but just for this time, if that is something that would be useful to you, if seeing some sort of a vlog style video and whatnot would be helpful, then go ahead and either give a comment or, you know, a thumbs up to this or whatever. Again, for the main purpose of seeing if that would be helpful, because if it would be, then, you know, that's something I could probably try and start doing in addition to what I'm already doing now. And then if it's not, that's okay. Then I know what is more helpful to you guys and what better to put out that is more helpful to you. So, I hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope that you're able to give me some feedback on, you know, maybe some different things that we could do in the future. So, thanks for watching. I'm Frugal Green Girl, and we'll see you next time.